rumors are that Diddy was running some kind of Epstein-type deal where he was filming everybody, right?
Nah, Diddy's in a tricky situation. I think it's over.
Is he been formally charged, or does he just know that the shit is out there?
What if the world's most famous music icons, Jay-Z, Beyonce, and Diddy, are tangled in a secret so explosive it could detonate their multi-million-dollar empires overnight? A leaked audio recording, exposed by none other than Joe Rogan, claims to pull back the curtain on a hidden underworld of scandalous parties, blackmail tapes, and shocking cover-ups. So twisted it might rewrite everything you've ever believed about these celebrities. This isn't just another rumor milling around social media. It's a time bomb set to blow apart the perfect image these stars have polished for years. If the whispers are even half true, the entertainment industry is on the brink of its darkest reckoning yet. Strap in, because once you hear what's been lurking behind those mansion walls, you'll never see these music giants the same way again. Behind the flash of paparazzi lights and viral headlines, the entertainment world has always projected an image of perfection. From red carpets to private yachts, fans see a glossy universe where daily life seems like one endless party. At the forefront of this spectacle stand superstars like Diddy, Jay-Z, and Beyonce, icons revered for their massive success and cultural impact. For years, they've been the pillars of the music industry, shaping trends and defining what it means to be at the pinnacle of fame. Their public personas exude power, confidence, and control. But what if that shiny surface masks a world most people can't imagine? As whispers of secret parties, mysterious recordings, and questionable behavior spread through fan forums and insider circles, it's become harder to dismiss the possibility that the lavish lifestyle isn't as perfect as it seems. Some say these A-listers have dined on absolute power for so long that they've forgotten the boundaries that govern everyday life. Others argue that success naturally breeds curiosity and tall tales, stories sensationalized by the media. Yet it's impossible to ignore the growing stack of allegations hinting at something far darker than routine celebrity gossip. For years, bits and pieces of rumors circulated about freak-offs, clandestine gatherings allegedly hosted by figures like Diddy. People whispered of nights that pushed moral lines, featuring explicit encounters and substances galore. But those rumors never stuck in the mainstream consciousness for too long, often brushed aside as wild conspiracies that didn't align with the image of philanthropic galas and Grammy wins. After all, it's easier to cling to the narrative of talented, hardworking legends than to face the idea that these icons might be entangled in hidden power plays. More recently, though, the rumors have hit new heights. Whispers turned to rumbles when details of alleged recordings started to emerge. Footage purported to capture intimate or compromising moments featuring the very stars who shape our playlists. While it's not unusual to hear about leaked celebrity clips, the mention of blackmail, manipulated relationships, and a network of hush-hush secrets is far more sinister. Even the most loyal fans have started wondering if these tales could hold some kernel of truth. Is it possible that behind every photo op and every triumphant awards show acceptance speech, there's an entire subculture that thrives on secrecy? Fueling the speculation was the fact that mainstream media outlets largely stayed silent, or so it seemed. Some outlets posted vague stories about party rumors without ever diving into specifics. This absence of coverage only heightened the aura of forbidden knowledge, making it feel as though powerful voices in the industry were intent on keeping people in the dark. In an era where a single tweet can spark a massive conversation, the silence around these rumors felt telling. Still, none of this was enough to truly erupt into a major scandal, until Joe Rogan dropped what some called the most dangerous audio in Hollywood. Suddenly, these half-hidden stories were front-page news in fan communities and entertainment gossip blogs. For the first time, the general public was confronted with the possibility that these so-called conspiracies might actually be real. People who'd once dismissed the rumors as idle chatter started asking difficult questions. Could Diddy's infamous parties be more than over-the-top fun? Were Jay-Z and Beyonce truly caught on tape in situations that could topple their polished reputations? The spark that turned these rumors into a wildfire was a shocking reveal by Joe Rogan, the popular yet controversial commentator known for his willingness to tackle any subject. Usually, Rogan's podcasts focus on topics ranging from cutting-edge science to fringe theories, but rarely does he dive into mainstream celebrity drama. This time was different. Out of the blue, a snippet of audio surfaced, audio that Rogan claimed to have received from a trusted insider, hinting that at least some of the darkest stories about Diddy's so-called freak-offs might be grounded in reality. Rogan didn't just make vague allusions. He laid out a series of claims as bold as they were unsettling. On his podcast, he described hearing explicit references to parties where celebrities were filmed without their consent, locked into bizarre social power dynamics, and occasionally used as pawns in high-stakes games of leverage. It wasn't just your typical Hollywood gossip about secret affairs or drug use. This went deeper, suggesting psychological manipulation and a near-cultish environment. Rogan's tone was equal parts alarmed and enthralled, as if he too couldn't quite believe what he was uncovering. When excerpts of Rogan's reveal hit social media, the internet nearly exploded. Fans of Jay-Z and Beyonce sprang to their defense, insisting that this had to be a hoax. Others pointed to Diddy's long history of swirling rumors, arguing arguing that where there's smoke, there's bound to be fire. Meanwhile, skeptics accused Rogan of chasing clicks, saying he'd happily exploit any scandal for more subscribers. But every voice, whether supportive or critical, only amplified the story's reach. Within days, Diddy leaks began trending, setting off a digital storm of speculation and debate. Adding more fuel was the sheer detail in Rogan's claims. He didn't just say there were parties. He said certain celebrities were caught on camera in humiliating or incriminating scenarios, possibly including Jay-Z and Beyonce. He didn't just hint at mild mischief. He implied a structured system where powerful moguls could own an up-and-comer's loyalty forever by capturing footage that the celebrity would do anything to keep under wraps. And if that footage involved superstars who'd meticulously crafted a squeaky clean public image, the blackmail potential could be astronomical. No official responses came from the Diddy, Jay-Z, or Beyonce camps immediately after Rogan's podcast went viral, an absence of denial that some observers read as a curious silence. Fans and commentators pored over older interviews, promotional clips, and behind-the-scenes stories, searching for clues that might validate or debunk Rogan's narrative. In the face of this growing scrutiny, every carefully curated social media post from these icons felt hollow. Suddenly, pictures from lavish parties of the past took on a new, eerie significance. Was that smiling group selfie just a normal celebrity snapshot, or had something ominous occurred right off camera? As the chatter grew louder, another question emerged. Why would Rogan, a man who's never been shy about expressing his opinions, risk a lawsuit from some of the most powerful individuals in the entertainment business? Could he have some form of legal cover or damning evidence strong enough to protect him from major retaliation? Rogan offered few specifics, insisting that he wasn't at liberty to share the entire recording. Yet even the small fragment he did share was enough to stoke curiosity and dread among fans and industry insiders alike. Speculation also swirled around how Rogan got the audio in the first place. Had a disgruntled employee of Diddy's inner circle decided they'd had enough? Was this leak a strategic move by a rival aiming to knock Diddy off his pedestal? Or was it an unplanned slip, a piece of blackmail material sent to Rogan by mistake? Conspiracy theories multiplied, but the only thing certain was that this bombshell had transformed tenuous rumors into a front-and-center conversation. Now, everyone wanted to know, just how deep did this rabbit hole go? To understand the magnitude of these revelations, one has to look at the long-standing rumors surrounding Diddy, also known as Sean Puff Daddy Combs. From his earliest days as a record producer to his ascension as a music, fashion, and liquor mogul, Diddy built an empire on hustle, ambition, and showmanship. But even as he flaunted his lavish lifestyle, complete with yachts, mansions, and private jets, whispers about his notorious house parties never quite faded away. These gatherings, often tagged as legendary, were rumored to be anything but typical VIP soirees. While many celebrities throw wild parties, the ones hosted by Diddy carried a certain mystique, fueled by tall tales of moral boundaries getting obliterated once the doors were closed. Some guests described the atmosphere as exhilarating yet unnerving, like you'd stepped into a place where no rules applied. Free-flowing champagne, top-tier music, and beautiful people were just the starting point. Behind the strobe lights, a handful of insiders claimed, were private rooms reserved for a select group who wanted a wilder kind of thrill. The name Freak-Offs attached itself to these events precisely because the activities supposedly went far beyond a typical Hollywood bash. Depending on which rumor you believe, these parties could involve anything from orchestrated adult encounters to shady negotiations for business and personal favors. A persistent theory held that cameras were rolling in corners you wouldn't expect, capturing scandalous moments that could be used as leverage later. While many brushed off these claims as outrageous hearsay, they gained renewed weight when Rogan's audio leak corroborated at least some of these narratives. Even more intriguing was the speculation that Diddy didn't just host these gatherings for pleasure. He did it to maintain control. The subtext was that certain stars owed their success to Diddy in one form or another, so he had the upper hand if they ever tried to drift from his orbit. People pointed to the unspoken rule of the entertainment industry. The bigger the star, the more carefully they guard their image. If you're caught in a compromising video, you'd do anything to keep it from seeing the light of day. A rumor began circulating that a few major artists discovered this harsh truth only after they were in too deep. Yet, for all the allegations, Diddy continued to shapeshift, adding more ventures to his portfolio, from television deals to political activism. To outside observers, he appeared invincible, a man who overcame obstacles with sheer force of will. But critics argued that his empire was built on fear as much as respect, citing prior lawsuits and disputes with former artists, employees, and partners. The exact details of these legal entanglements remained obscured by settlements and non-disclosure agreements, perpetuating the image of a mogul whose power transcended normal accountability. When the federal government got involved, things took an even more bizarre turn. News spread of a raid on Diddy's properties, allegedly unearthing evidence that might link him to activities far more sinister than your run-of-the-mill Hollywood hedonism. Some pointed to the possibility that these tapes, showing well-known personalities in vulnerable or incriminating situations, were part of an under-the-table blackmail operation. If that were true, it would raise questions not just about Diddy's empire, but the entire network of enablers who kept it humming along for years. Investigative journalists who tried to dig deeper into the story often hit a wall. Sources would clam up, refusing to speak on record out of fear for their careers or personal safety. Others insisted that Diddy's circle was more like a fortress, guarded by powerful attorneys and hush money. An odd consensus emerged among the rumor mill. If you cross Diddy, you might find your life upended in ways you never anticipated. This environment of intimidation and secret secrecy only amplified the shock value of Rogan's leaked audio, casting the star-studded parties in an even darker light. No one in music commands more admiration or scrutiny than Jay-Z and Beyoncé. As separate entities, they were already icons. Together, they formed a power couple that shaped everything from fashion to political discourse. So when their names appeared in Rogan's allegations and the subsequent rumor avalanche, the intrigue escalated tenfold. Fans had always perceived the Carters as a grounded pair who strategically curated their public image with unwavering discipline. Could they really be caught up in Diddy's web of private parties and potential blackmail? The claim that Jay-Z and Beyoncé might appear in compromising footage at one of these freak-offs was a bombshell. Critics argued that the Carters, known for their ironclad brand management, would never risk being part of such chaos. But others countered that Diddy's influence ran deep. If these events were as exclusive and closed-door as insiders claimed, perhaps even the biggest stars could be lured or pressured into attending. Moreover, there's an unspoken code among A-listers. They often party together, secure in the notion that what happens in VIP rooms stays there. All bets change if hidden cameras roll in those rooms. Jay-Z's business ties to Diddy go back decades, forged in the era when hip-hop began its rise to mainstream cultural dominance. They collaborated on tracks, attended each other's lavish gatherings, and navigated deals where their paths intertwined. While Jay-Z branched out with his own ventures, streaming platforms, sports management, and a bevy of profitable endorsements, his history with Diddy remained. A lingering question is whether old loyalties or entangled finances might have led Jay-Z to compromise in ways fans would never suspect. Then there's Beyoncé, revered worldwide for her artistry, her philanthropy, and her advocacy for underrepresented voices. She's the last person fans imagine attending anything morally questionable. But silence from her camp in the face of these rumors led many to wonder what was truly going on behind the scenes. For someone who publicly champions female empowerment, any association with exploitative events would be catastrophic. Some fans insisted she had no idea what the real nature of these parties might have been. Maybe she was simply present at a glitzy social function and left early. Others, fueled by cynicism, believe that even the biggest stars aren't immune to an industry culture that thrives on secrecy. Those close to the couple offered little clarity. Anonymous insiders popped up online, alleging all sorts of conflicting stories, from Beyoncé left the party the minute things got weird, to Jay-Z walked in on horrifying acts he couldn't stop. Verifying these claims became a monumental task. Every snippet of leaked text or audio, every secondhand story, fed the public's appetite for scandal, but rarely came with hard proof. Many fans pleaded for the Carters to release an official statement, something, anything, to clear the air. Yet none arrived in those frantic early weeks. Their silence spoke volumes. Then came the rumors of a possible settlement or private agreement. Supposedly, hush money was offered to those who might release a revealing clip, especially if it featured the Carters. Could it be that Jay-Z or his team moved swiftly to keep damaging footage off the internet? The speculation was rampant. Maybe Diddy leveraged the Carter name for his own gain, or perhaps the Carters were frantic to ensure nobody saw them in an unguarded moment. All this chaos threw into question everything fans thought they knew about the most famous couple in music. For some, the rumors were too sensational to believe. For others, the potential revelations felt heartbreakingly real. With these explosive allegations gaining traction, social media became the gladiatorial arena where supporters and skeptics clashed. Hashtags like Tider Diddygate, Tider Rogan Leaks, and Carter Scandal began trending, pulling in millions of tweets and posts. On one side, fervent fans rallied to the defense of their idols. They dismissed the rumors as vicious smears, orchestrated by jealous rivals or sensationalist commentators. There's no way Jay and Bey would be part of something like that, posted one user, while others argued that Rogan's track record of courting controversy made him an unreliable source. On the opposite end were those who felt the evidence, or at least the multiple corroborating rumors, were too vast to ignore. Pointing to Diddy's historical run-ins with the law and allegations from ex-partners, they argued that no star, however big, should be beyond suspicion. Conspiracy-minded threads emerged, claiming that the entertainment industry had a long-standing tradition of covering up off-limits secrets to preserve the reputations of top earners. Overnight, independent internet sleuths scoured old interviews, behind-the-scenes footage, and social media posts, trying to decode cryptic messages or identify suspicious details that might validate the controversies. Some of the most intense debates revolved around the moral implications. If these events truly involved exploitation, potentially worse than what's commonly admitted in Hollywood gossip, should fans boycott the music of those allegedly involved? Critics said continuing to support any star under this kind of cloud felt wrong. However, loyal supporters fired back, claiming that no official proof had surfaced and that condemning an artist based on rumors was premature. These back-and-forth arguments often devolved into heated fights, with hashtags turning into weapons on both sides. Meanwhile, mainstream media outlets began cautiously covering the story. They framed it with disclaimers like unverified allegations and sources close to the investigation, making it clear they were treading lightly. Some analysts suggested that the entertainment industry's power players were scrambling behind the scenes, either to squash the scandal or position themselves on the right side of public opinion. PR representatives for Jay-Z and Beyoncé issued brief statements denying the rumors, but none addressed the deeper questions swirling around the pair's alleged presence at Diddy's parties. Diddy's team mostly went silent, except for one or two curt dismissals of the whole saga as ridiculous and defamatory. Amid the frenzy, certain voices tried to introduce nuance, pointing out the historical pattern of moral panic whenever a celebrity scandal breaks. A few journalists argued that without concrete evidence, the swirl of gossip risked turning into a digital witch hunt. Others said that even if partial details were sensationalized, the entertainment industry had a track record of covering up abuses of power, and that shedding light on these accusations might spark much-needed reform. The stakes became clear. Either these revelations would fizzle out like past Hollywood scandals, or they could ignite a deeper reckoning about the hidden corners of celebrity life. Behind all this, everyday fans, people who grew up idolizing these musicians, felt a strange sense of betrayal. A common sentiment appeared in countless posts. "I loved them for years, but if this is true, I can't support them anymore." Some admitted they were torn, hoping the rumors were false, yet unable to ignore the mounting allegations. This emotional tension underscored how deeply these stars were ingrained in popular culture. Their music served as the soundtrack to people's lives, so the notion that they could be entangled in something so dark felt personally devastating for many. As the scandal ballooned, a new perspective emerged. Maybe this isn't just about Diddy, Jay-Z, or Beyoncé individually. Maybe it's about the broader structure of power in the entertainment industry. For a long time, insiders have whispered about a murky system where gatekeepers can make or break careers at will. Aspiring artists sometimes sign contracts they barely understand, effectively binding themselves to powerful figures who can demand far more than just a cut of the royalties. Many argued that if the allegations were even partly true, they exposed a method of control that goes beyond standard Hollywood corruption. By quietly collecting compromising material, a mogul like Diddy could hold sway over A-listers who do almost anything to keep scandalous footage under wraps. Not a new concept. Stories of blackmail and secret tapes pop up in various forms throughout entertainment history. But the scale implied here, involving the biggest names in music, signaled an escalation that stunned even the cynics. This broader angle also reignited discussions about the unchecked authority of industry titans. Executives have long been rumored to exploit their positions, from using nepotism to signing artists in shady deals, all the way to orchestrating hush money. But if legitimate evidence surfaces of systematic exploitation, like covertly filming celebrities during private events, then the conversation shifts from rumor to accountability. Could this scandal be the push that finally forces the entertainment industry to confront its deeply buried skeletons? Furthermore, critics highlighted how star-driven culture often masks deeper institutional issues. We tend to focus on the personalities. Did so-and-so cheat, get caught, or behave badly, rather than the structures allowing such behavior to flourish. If stories of these freak-offs are valid, they indicate a hidden environment where laws and ethics might be ignored, all for the sake of maintaining influence. In such a system, the normal safeguards, like calling out toxic behavior, can't function if everyone fears retribution, exposure, or career suicide. As the scandal continued to unfold, some began drawing parallels to previous entertainment industry reckonings, such as the Me Too movement. That wave of disclosures toppled once untouchable figures, unveiling patterns of harassment and abuse hidden for decades. Some observers speculated that the revelations about these parties and secret tapes could ignite a similar chain reaction. If one major star, like Jay-Z or Beyoncé, chose to speak out, it could trigger a tidal wave of confessions and lawsuits, potentially altering the power dynamics of Hollywood and the music world. All this speculation raised an unsettling question. What if the alleged exploitation at these parties is just the tip of the iceberg? In a setting where money, fame, and influence collide, moral boundaries can blur. It's easy for the public to condemn individuals who attend a raucous party, but it's far more complex to dismantle a decades-old system that rewards secrecy and punishes transparency. Nonetheless, the mounting tension suggested that the entertainment industry could be on the brink of a significant shift, whether it liked it or not. Despite the swirl of rumors, one thing remains certain: law enforcement wasn't taking these allegations lightly. Various insiders claimed that federal agents, already poking around Diddy's finances and business dealings, stumbled upon evidence pointing to potential exploitation or blackmail. At first, the rumors of a federal raid on Diddy's property seemed outlandish, the kind of story tabloids spin, but as more sources corroborated it, the idea gained credibility. Could it be that they discovered these so-called secret tapes, footage that might implicate some of the biggest stars in the world? In the absence of official statements, uncertainty reigned. No high-profile arrests were made, which fueled speculation that either the evidence wasn't strong enough to press charges, or that negotiations were unfolding behind closed doors. Some watchers suspected hush agreements might already be in play, with large sums exchanged to keep certain footage or documents from leaking. The unspoken question remained: if real crimes were committed, would the perpetrators actually see justice, or would their influence buy them a pass? The media began to frame the story as an investigative saga, focusing on how far the authorities were willing to go. Journalists dug into court records, searching for sealed indictments or mention of major celebrities. Whispers emerged about a Jane Doe lawsuit that might name multiple stars. Publicly, though, the legal system moved at a snail's pace, constrained by the complexities of these claims and the power wielded by the accused. Every so often, a minor leak from an investigative source would spark a fresh wave of speculation. Amid this tension, some alleged victims considered coming forward. Anonymous posts on forums hinted that individuals who'd attended Diddy's parties in the past felt emboldened by the growing scandal, but stepping into the spotlight would mean risking everything. If these stories were true, they'd open a can of worms about unspoken deals, NDAs, and undisclosed financial settlements that might ruin more than just the celebrities' reputations. They could also topple powerful executives, financiers, and handlers, whose names rarely make the gossip columns. Jay-Z, typically adept at controlling his own narrative, found himself cornered. His fans demanded clarity. Was he an unwitting participant in an environment orchestrated by Diddy, or did he willfully partake? Worse still, the swirling allegations that hidden cameras captured him and Beyoncé in scandalous scenarios put them on the defensive. While some of the couple's close associates quietly told reporters the claims were absurd, an official detailed denial never materialized. Their usual public relations finesse wasn't enough to quell the storm this time. Beyoncé's silence only fed the rumor mill. People questioned how a superstar known for championing female empowerment could stay mute if she had any inkling that these parties involved exploitation. Some fans theorized that behind the scenes, Beyoncé might be furious, urging Jay-Z to cut all ties with Diddy. Others suggested she was complicit. The lack of information turned speculation into a free-for-all, with online communities dissecting every fragment of news in an attempt to piece together a complete narrative. In a world bombarded by daily scandals and fleeting attention spans, it's easy to assume that all this too will pass. Perhaps in a few months, a new controversy will overshadow these unsettling allegations, and public memory will let Diddy, Jay-Z, and Beyoncé slip back into stardom. But there's a persistent sense that this particular story won't just vanish like so many tabloid flares. The leak by Joe Rogan, the rumored federal investigations, and the ongoing murmur of victim testimonies collectively point to something bigger, a possible reckoning that could force the entertainment industry to confront its darkest corners. Whether or not every claim is fully accurate, the swirl of detailed accusations and insider confessions suggests a pattern where power and secrecy can corrode morality. If major celebrities truly participated, willingly or otherwise, in twisted gatherings that were filmed for blackmail or sadistic enjoyment, then the ramifications extend beyond mere headlines. It questions the fundamental assumptions we hold about how fame, fortune, and influence operate in modern society. No one expects a simple resolution. The legal system moves slowly, and powerful people rarely go down without a fight. Yet the floodgates might already be open. Even if Diddy, Jay-Z, and Beyoncé managed to sidestep public condemnation, the mere fact that these allegations have been aired so widely could embolden others to speak out. New lawsuits, new leaks, or a single credible witness stepping forward might blow this story into an even more colossal scandal. Alternatively, skillful PR strategies and hush money could bury it all before mainstream justice ever has a chance to weigh in. One thing is certain: the illusions that once surrounded these icons have been shattered. It's no longer possible for fans to see their favorite stars only as polished performers or philanthropic entrepreneurs. The conversation, however uncomfortable, now involves hidden cameras, manipulative parties, and the question of who holds the real power behind the velvet ropes. For some, it's a betrayal of trust. For others, it's confirmation of long-standing suspicions about Hollywood's moral bankruptcy. And so we're left with an industry on the edge of implosion, or at least transformation. Will this be the final push that compels real accountability? Or will it dissolve into a footnote in celebrity gossip lore, another cautionary tale that never resulted in lasting change? The next moves belong to the figures under scrutiny and the system that either protects them or calls them to account. For now, all we can do is watch, wait, and wonder if this will be the scandal that shakes the foundations of fame and forces us all to question just how deep the darkness runs behind the brightest of spotlights.